you need to look after yourself. You're actually very precious and valued, despite what they may have said about you at school with the bullying and teasing.
Mental health, emotional health, physical health, they're all really, really important. And especially in a turbulent time, there might be additional needs that you have to get support with emotional health and mental health.
You might hear the word burnout, and burnout means different things to different people. It's really important that if you do experience burnout, if it all feels like it's becoming too much, that you seek the support that you need to find a way through. It's a really common experience reported by adults with autism.
Working too much so that you start to get negative, cynical, it takes you more energy to get out of bed. Your self-care habits, like if you had any exercise, if you were eating, you start to deteriorate. You look for more sugary foods, you might use alcohol or drugs to get through the day. You're watching a lot of technology. Basically, your stress system is perpetually filled with adrenaline. You're on fight or flight all day, and then the body will crash and you just won't be able to do anything.
I think it's important for everyone to look after themselves. If they're feeling anxious or depressed, this can be quite debilitating if we don't look after ourselves under those circumstances. And autistic people are at much higher risk than people in the general population of having anxiety or depression. And we're not sure why. We don't know whether this is a biological predisposition associated with autism or whether it's a reaction to adverse events life events that have occurred through the process of their life because they have got autism, or whether it's a combination of both.
Yeah, taking care of yourself has so many different components, but the main ones to focus on is like physical and the mental aspect. So with physical, it's sort of the usual kind of like finding a way to exercise. It doesn't have to be something massive. It could be just a walk around the block regularly and make it part of your routine. Like just use your autism to your advantage on this one, right? If you like routines, just find an easy one that is relatively enjoyable, maybe incorporates your special interests, like I like listening to podcasts. So I go, okay, well, that's a good excuse to go walk to the shops and back because then I can listen to a fun podcast.
Seeking advice from others. What do I do in this situation? Did I do a good job? You need a mentor in life, in friendships and at work, so that they can give you not only positive feedback, but also suggestions of what to do.
It's also really important that when you seek support for mental health concerns, you go to someone who understands how to treat mental health concerns in people with autism.
A lot of people in general, but particularly autistic people who focus on what's wrong with the situation, how to improve it, what's the critical aspect, they're analysing what they've done wrong. That negative lens needs to be accounted for with a more compassionate lens.
It's actually really important for us to step back and recharge by ourselves in private, doing something we love doing, like writing. So I think a lot of people go, take care of yourself, the physical, the mental bit, but actually a lot of autistic people recharge by doing something productively creative. Now, this is something that's not usually prescribed because it seems to go against most advice. But no, it's actually, if you can indulge in what you enjoy doing, it actually really helps you recharge, and especially by yourself.
Look after yourself in terms of nutrition. Many of the autistic adults that I've talked to who have been successful in a variety of ways said, get rid of junk food.
Sleep's really important, and we've got to watch out for technology coming into the bedroom and keeping us up longer and affecting our biological rhythms. Nutrition, exercise, but I think if you were going to focus on one thing out of all those, sleep's really the keystone, because once you get a better sleep, you have more energy to do new habits around your exercise or food and that sort of thing.
Energy accounting. So this is a case of what takes away my energy and what gives it back. And when we look at it, and once you've written it down and look at it, you'll find yourself going, I give out too much energy. I'm never giving enough back to myself. So this is super important. Self-care is one thing I always say we never do enough of, and it's something that we really do need to do a lot more.
It's a no-brainer that if you were sick, you'd go to the doctor. I hope that this will be the case in the near future, that mental health is taken as seriously as physical health. We go to the doctor regularly, we take sick days regularly. If your mental health is suffering, then it can be improved.
Autism rarely occurs in isolation. It's usually autism plus. So we need to determine what else is there that ranges from Tourette's disorder to all sorts of issues in terms of flexible joints and medical conditions. So there needs to be a thorough assessment, a profile of that individual, and then referral to those agencies that know how to help someone with autism. And that's where we work as clinical psychologists in adapting treatment for anxiety, depression, and anger management to suit the characteristics, the cognitive and experience characteristics of those with autism. There need to be adjustments.